Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Doing a very quick trade recap today. Um, I woke up today at 5 a.m., which would make it 8 Eastern, and traded a little bit pre market. I'll start with WINT because I saw this one pop. There was news that, let's see, there was news that they got an offer for a drug candidate, and this spiked up, I think, like 35-40%. And after this candle, I waited. I saw this indecision candle here. And then I was looking at this potentially breaking up again. It failed it got shorted, so I hopped in short at zero point 0.9. And then I covered into these sell offs. Could have held this, but I was looking at the start of the spike as my place to cover the rest of my position, and we reached pretty close to it. I think my last buy was 7.6, so already we were 50% down. So I just got out of this. I probably should have held. I have this mental psychology problem where which I think most traders actually have, of selling winners too early and holding on to losers. I was reading about that today. Um, the good thing about today's trades is I wasn't in any bad drawdowns today, so wasn't really holding on to any losers, and you'll see that with an AOV today. So, um, VTAC, this one was up like 200%, but it wasn't grinding higher. So I saw that above 8.4 it was getting shorted. So I got in short here, risking 8.4 as my and looking to add above there. Um, it started climbing down here and then ended up selling off. So I covered some into this sell off. It started holding again, and then I covered the rest of my position. It ended up selling off a little more. Then, come market open, it popped back up to zero point 0.8. So, knowing that above zero point 0.8 is getting shorted, I got in short. It was very volatile, like spiking up and down 10 cents randomly. So I covered some here. Saw it was spiking up again. It kept like jumping up above zero point 0.8. So I had like a quarter of my position left. At this point, when it was near lower VWAP, I was like, I'll cover and get in at zero point 0.8 again. And it didn't reach it and ended up selling off. So um, instead of getting out of my position here, thinking it would go back to zero point 0.8, I should have held this and just added at zero point 0.8 if it got there. So misplay there, but I think otherwise I played it pretty well. TRNR, this one was climbing up to where pre-market resistance was, and the volume wasn't overwhelming. So I took a starter position here, saw how it was acting at 1.3, and that it ended up getting rejected. Sold off again, and then same thing here. I was hoping to cover and add close to higher, like 1.3. 1.3 was where I was looking to enter again, but it didn't get there. So same thing happened here that happened on VTAC. Um, so left profits on the table. Like I covered at looks like 1, 2, 3. Um, and I should have. Okay, I don't know why VTAC is showing here. I covered at 1, 2, 3, and I could have covered at zero point 0.8. Looking at this. Um, Next we have an AOV. NAOV. So this one started breaking out here, but it wasn't pushing a lot higher. I took the short at 127, covered some at 123. Wait, sorry. I just want to make sure that TRNR, was I looking at the right prices? Looks like I was. Okay. Coincidence that both were at 1 1 2 3. So took the short at 127, covered some at 123. It came back up and I got out because I wasn't liking the price action. I thought this was going to have another leg up, which it ended up having later here and then also here. But the way the price action was showing to me was pretty bullish and it just felt like it was going to break out higher. So I just got out of my position. I didn't want to deal with that. Also, this one did have pretty bullish news. They had a patent, so I uh, saw that after I got in, and I was like, okay, if this breaks out, I'm gonna try and get out quick and not hold on to it. KNW, this one we see here, we don't have as much volume today, right? And we had so much volume on this day, the 9th. So the 392 level, the high, I basically marked open, high, close, and the low on my chart, and it started reaching close to the high. So with all that volume yesterday, I knew this was going to be overhead volume since we didn't have, or overhead resistance since we didn't have as much volume today. So I took my short at 3.9. It came down to 3.68. Spiked back up. I didn't add. I just sort of cover into this down wick. At this point, I was like, I got to get ready for work. So I left to get ready for work. But KNW, TRNR, VTAC, WINT, all of these were winners that I could have held on to. Um, a bit tough there, but green is green. I can't be too upset. I just need to work on my patience a little bit. Um, I think that if it works for me immediately, like I have a good setup, it's pretty safe to stay in it. It's only in uptrends and very bullish price action that I think it's um, better to cover earlier into these down wicks. Like if the setup isn't there and it's looking bullish, because my strategy is good for bullish situations as well, like NAOV, where we keep inching higher. But if I short here, cover here, short here, cover here, short here, cover here, it works out. So there's always like this possibility that we keep going higher, but I need to risk breakouts and be aware of them instead of just covering all my position when clearly breakouts fail. Like TRNR, this didn't come back above high of day. VTAC, it was showing very clear shorting above point 0.8. So both of these situations didn't really warrant me covering early because these typically fade. Unless it's going higher, breaking out higher with volume, I don't need to cover quick. I could kind of be more patient. So I'm gonna try and keep that in mind. I loved my entries today, aside from NAOV, given the news. Like I was waiting for clear resistance levels and then firing at those, um, and trying to place my orders where there's wicking down, and where at instances where momentum slowed. So we see VTAC pre-market, right? If I'm trading this pre-market and I'm short here, and this just blasts up and never comes back, I'm in such a nasty drawdown. So I'm glad I didn't trade this pre-market. I've been waking up an hour before market opens, an hour and a half before market open, and assessing the situation. Like this one clearly started having slowing momentum here where it's consolidating and not breaking out higher. See how there's a wick here. If new highs aren't made and it's getting shorted above new highs, it's a pretty good sign that it's time to dump. Um, so yeah, all of these, the was looking at yearly chart, was looking at news, which is how I was able to find good opportunities, which I'm happy about. So, thanks for watching. Subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Happy to answer those. And peace.